Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! Here goes the mother! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
We need if you can survive!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my good brother from the Bulletcast. It's Philip. What's going on, man?
Introduce me right.
Oh, I should call you. Oh my God, I had a name for you, and I'm already blanking. I had a special nickname lined up for you already. It was, oh my God, what did you just do recently? You just did something recently.
I do a lot of things, Baby Huey.
I know. Oh my God, I had this planned out. I was gonna call you. Wait, hold on. Let me check your Instagram real quick.
Recently, I interviewed D Rogue, the dread-headed pirate. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Also, 24 Karat Magic, the Golden One, Midas Creed. Shout out to him. Those are some good brothers. Go check out those interviews on the Bulletcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, and of course, they're on YouTube, so you can watch the video. We had some fun.
Damn, I can't think of it now. I knew you were going to say this, and I had a comeback ready for it.
Was it on my personal Instagram?
I don't know. I'm totally spacing now. Damn it. Sorry. It's been a long weekend for me. So like everything I had lined up prep for you is out my head already. But no, please, I'll let you go have the honor of introducing yourself.
Oh, my God. You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case you don't, I am a 25-year-old piece of gold, the Messiah of the microphone, the California classic, and the greatest sports and recreational podcast in the world today. Why am I here? It's simple. I'm here to lead the evolution of the audio revolution. I'm going into the Hall of Fame. Don't know which one, but I'm going in somewhere. Yes, I can put back on the coaching hat. Tomorrow afternoon, I start that again, enriching young lives. That's what I do, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
I don't just speak into a microphone.
You live the life.
Exactly. This is what I want. This is why I want to get into public service for reasons like this.
Yeah. Okay.
World. I want to make it a better place for you and for me. And
absolutely. Damn it, I'm so pissed at myself. I literally had something planned to tell you or call you out on. Oh my God, I'm so pissed. Anyway, it might come at me like 30 minutes into this or something, so bear with me.
That's fine.
But how you been, man? How's everything else going?
I'm good, man. The interviews that I did, I really enjoyed those. They were fun. The D Rogue one, it was hilarious. World's freshest tag team. Get well, Zoe, and you're going through a little something right now with the vid. But hopefully you get well, brother. Juicy for now, making the run in. He looking kind of thick. That killed me. That line.
His back was crooked.
Hey, it was.
He
went through a table, bro. It wasn't even like a regular table. It was like a giant piece of wood that they put him through. But D Rogue, he talked about the importance of the Bay Area wrestling scene.
Yeah.
And he said he's not just good for the Bay Area. He's good in general, just like everybody else here. I'm like, that's what's up. I mess with that.
Yeah, no, definitely you killed it with those interviews. Awesome job. So yeah, remember, subscribe to the Bulletcast YouTube channel. Watch those videos, support the channel, and share them.
Hey, man, some more are coming. I just interviewed somebody earlier today. That's going up on Tuesday. This coming Saturday at the Pacheco Square Garden. Pacheco, I think that's it.
Pacheco, next to Concord.
Yeah, Pacheco Square Garden, East Bay Pro. They're holding a show. I'll be there conducting.
Are you going to go to it?
Conducting interviews, man. I'm on the grind.
I was thinking about going to that one.
Come on, man. Huey. It's time.
I know. It's been my first wrestling show.
Are you going to wait till West Coast? Because, there's a pulse there.
Okay, so can we talk about that? West Coast Pro Wrestling, they posted like a little teaser video on Instagram and YouTube, or excuse me, Instagram, Twitter, I'm guessing Facebook as well. I didn't check that. But Yeah, it's the logo, West Coast Pro Wrestling logo, coming towards this, towards the front of the screen, and you hear doon 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 doon. So I'm like, oh, it's a heartbeat. Something's in the works. So if I had to guess, I mean, I have no insider information, but if I had to guess, I mean, they're planning probably a show or something. It just makes sense because they haven't done a show in a long time. What, year and a half, maybe almost? So if I had to guess, that's probably what it is, right? It's probably something's in the works.
Yeah, shows are starting to make their way around here, man. You got East Bay Pro, UGWA. I'm going to the UGWA show this month, too. That's going to be cool.
Okay.
The YWA, they're holding another show on the 30th of this month. You got Action Coast Wrestling that's happening. So wrestling
is that Sacramento?
No, it's in Pacheco, too.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna hold it. So, wrestling's happening out here, man.
So the one you went to last week in YWA, is that another promotion?
It was their first show, Yarders Wrestling Alliance.
Okay.
It was cool, man. It was on a farm. It was different.
In what city?
It was in Oakley.
Oakley, wow, way out, East Bay,
it was
like
on
Brentwood.
It was on a farm, dude.
Oh my God.
It was so much fun, like just chopping it up with the boys after the show, dude. It was awesome.
That's cool.
I took a friend of mine. It was her first wrestling show. She had a great time.
Nice.
She yelled at the heels like you're supposed to. She booed the bad guys.
Nice. That's cool. So yeah, I was tempted, looking at the calendar, I saw East Bay Pro Wrestling's having a show. I'm like, I'm kind of tempted to check it out. We'll see. See how things are going, over the next week and stuff, if I can make it out there. Hopefully nothing else major personally or work-wise affects my schedule this week like it has been the last few days. So, fingers crossed. I'll keep you posted if I can make it out there. But, no, here we are back at it for another episode of In The Kliq. As always, we will talk some AEW Dynamite. That's when Philip's on here. And, a little bit of clickbait news. And, shout out to you, Phil, for kind of, introducing or pointing it out to me. I saw on the Bulletcast Instagram, you posted a photo of Andrade making some news.
I thought you were about to be like, Sexy Star got the hell beat out of her.
Oh, no. That's funny. That was pretty funny, too, seeing that as well. But I saw that Andrade's making the news. Actually, do you want to take this? Are you able to talk about it? I know it's posted on your Bulletcast Instagram, and like I told you before, I like what you're doing with the Bulletcast Instagram. Like you post a photo and like a tidbit of like a news story, so it's kind of breaking news.
Don't be surprised if you see other aspects of entertainment pop up on the Bulletcast in the near future.
Aspects of entertainment like
pop culture, etc.
Okay.
This is about to become a brand.
Okay.
Believe that.
Like you going through a table or something, or
no. The Bulletcast is about to be an entertainment brand. We won't just do wrestling in the future.
Nice. Okay.
Do it all. But
awesome.
Yeah. So Andrade El Idolo has arrived in AAA, and he has just challenged Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega Championship at Triple Mania. Triple Mania is AAA's WrestleMania. It's normally held in August. I think it's always the last weekend or last day of August.
Yeah.
Last Saturday in August. So, hey, man. And he did a signing at some shop today. I see one of the fellow podcasters I follow. He got the chance to meet him.
Okay,
dude,
awesome.
Hey, give me that.
So I'm looking as well. Fightful's a little bit on the story. So yeah, as you mentioned, the date of Triple Mania is currently not known. Just obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty, but hopefully in front of a live crowd in August or September. So yeah, he appeared at this like promo video package. That appeared at, I guess they're having some like a video or like what do you call it? Streaming, actually let me look here. I have another story here. So yeah, Andrade, who he joined Lucha Libre, AAA Worldwide. He appeared in a pre-taped video package at the end of yesterday's show, and during the video package, yeah, he challenged Kenny Omega for the Mega Championship at Triple Mania, the next Triple Mania this year. And then also Kenny Omega, just to follow up that story, Kenny Omega responded to the challenge on social media. He tweeted, "I'm a busy guy. Give me some time to think about it." So it's going to be interesting, man. Yeah, Philip, your thoughts on Andrade and Kenny Omega going at it for the Mega Championship at the next Triple Mania, wherever it happens?
Dude, you know what this means. He has to pop up on Dynamite. He doesn't have to stay there. He doesn't have to be all elite, kind of like what Kenta did. Like, pop in for a little bit and dip. Like, he can do that, and I'm cool with that. I want to see Andrade just do things, because he's a great talent. It's one of those where I know people criticize WWE every time somebody leaves. Oh, they ruined him. They could have done something with him. He's one of the guys where I'm like, how do you mess that up?
Yeah, it's actually interesting because, before NXT in WWE, he was with CMLL, and now he's with AAA. So it's kind of a interesting, for him in his career. I kind of assumed he was going to go back to CMLL, but now he's going with the other big promotion in Mexico, AAA. So that's kind of interesting as well, where he's going his career.
Well, speaking of CMLL, they cut ties with Ring of Honor. That's interesting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like all his buddies work in Ring of Honor, so that's why I thought he was going to make an appearance in Ring of Honor in the near future.
You never know. I mean, I think AAA is a bigger promotion than CMLL.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I mean, hey man, you never know.
And so AAA, they do have a working relationship with AEW. And then AAA also, I think, has a working relationship with MLW as well. So it's kind of interesting, the crossover, what could happen. So, yeah, if they're working with AEW, I would love, if you're going to have brand versus brand or crossover, like someone from one roster taking on another member, like a Kenny Omega, I want them to do a better job of this build than they did with Rich Swann and Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? Because that was just terrible as far as it was all on Impact's TV each week. There was no references on AEW except some little 30-second video package the week before the pay-per-view Rebellion.
They did more with the New Japan US title.
Yeah, so that's why I was kind of frustrated. So anyway, I'm excited for this. It's probably going to be an awesome match at Triple Mania later on this summer, whenever it takes place. Of course, I would love to see Andrade versus Kenny Omega. It's going to be awesome. We'll talk about and cover it as well. But at the same time, based on Kenny Omega's last big feud with someone outside of AEW, Rich Swann, they hardly built it up properly. So that's why I'm like, is this going to be a little underwhelming as well, at least with the build? I don't know. I want to be excited, but I just hope they do a better job promoting this match.
It's just Kenny Omega's fault. Let's be real, guys. I'm sure Tommy would agree with me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So, Tommy doesn't have his earbuds in right now.
It's all Kenny Omega's fault.
Exactly.
We both agree. We hate Kenny Omega.
Yeah, it's Kenny Omega's fault, right, Tommy? Yeah, he gives a thumbs up. So,
thumbs down.
Thumbs down. So, but anyway, so like I said, nothing's official yet, but I'm sure it's gonna happen. Come on. You're printing money at that point. Two big names, Andrade, with his history. I'm with you. I think it'd be kind of cool if maybe he bounces around from promotion to promotion, kind of does some fun free agent type stuff, because now he has independence away from WWE to go do whatever he wants.
Hey, I want to see him pop up in NWA real quick. It'd be like, you want to talk about NWA?
He was an NWA champion, right? Back in the day.
Was he?
He was the NWA World Historic Welterweight Champion. I know he posted something on social media.
What is that?
It's one of the titles. If you look at Andrade, La Sombra, that's Andrade. He was the youngest wrestler to win the championship. If you look at Andrade's social media, he actually posted a throwback photo with him with that championship in Japan.
I'm going to have to look that up. But yeah, man, him popping up in the NWA and be like, it's in the family, and then obviously that's a reference to Flair. Because he's going to be the son-in-law eventually.
Yeah.
So I think stuff like that would be cool. But
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if he goes to NWA.
Yeah, man.
And he's like trying to represent his father-in-law, the legacy.
Hey, dude, what if they can get Slick Rick to come out with him to the ring? Book it.
Oh my God. So that's the cool thing right now. I think for anyone who's a free agent, and hopefully, things will start picking it back up. I mean, we're just talking locally here. More shows are picking up and being put on. And so with that being said, with the bigger promotions, they start putting on some shows. Hopefully, all these free agents from WWE's past can have an opportunity to go work and do some fun crossover stuff. So Andrade, I don't know if he would sign AAA as like his home base and then he goes appear at all these other promotions. I know, a lot of people would love to see him do some stuff with New Japan, NWA. You make a great reference. I think he would do great in Ring of Honor because all his buddies are there from CMLL, so could put on some amazing matches there. So Andrade, I think, is in a good spot where he has so many options for him and he could put on some killer matches. So while it's not official, I would imagine Kenny Omega and him will be booked at some point. Early prediction, who do you think is going to win? Kenny Omega is probably going to win, right? Because the whole belt collector gimmick right now.
I don't know. I'd put it on Andrade just to be different.
I'm with you, and then that way take that title off him, and then Kenny Omega can work on other championships to collect. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to it. So we got a lot of stuff to get into, but yeah, Kenny Omega, he's got a lot of things going on right now. He's got Jon Moxley to deal with, and Eddie Kingston, and we'll get in all to that. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode of Dynamite here. I thought it was a solid show. I actually watched like bits and parts this past Wednesday when it was happening live. I was kind of half tired, and so there were some things going on this show that just kind of was a little annoying to me. I rewatched it last night and finished it this morning. It was a good show. I thought it had its moments that were pretty cool, but then there were some little things that were just, I'm still scratching my head. I don't know what you think of this overall show for this week for Dynamite. It's the go home show before Blood and Guts. As
always, there are things I like, there are things I don't like.
Okay, let's jump right into it. This opening match here, Brian Cage taking on the number one ranked man in AEW, Hangman Adam Page. To be honest, I was super shocked how much Brian Cage dominated this match. Now, I don't want to say it was a squash, but it was a short match, and Brian Cage was in control the majority of the time and ultimately picked up the victory here. What about you? What'd you think of Hangman finally losing after being undefeated for a long time?
Forget the offense. I was shocked that Brian Cage won.
Yeah, that too. Because we were just talking about last week how Team Taz has been booked so bad for the longest time.
Yeah, like it's... there are three things that are certain in life: death, taxes, and when it comes to Team Taz, they're going to lose. That wasn't the case. that wasn't the case this time, and I'm happy. Congratulations to Brian Cage. It adds some legitimacy back to him. He beat the number one ranked wrestler in the company, and that's good.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I totally agree. I was super shocked to see Hangman lose here. It was an interesting match. Like I said, Brian Cage was dominating this match. And it was a good match. I mean, literally it was Brian Cage going from spot to spot, some big power move to another power move. It was cool. I just wish Brian Cage would just do a better job with like his facial reactions and just really kind of selling, what he's doing in the ring. But Hangman, the fact he was getting his ass beat so bad, he tried to make a little bit of a comeback. And at one point, remember, he did the flip off the top of the rope to Brian Cage on the outside. I was like, that's pretty cool. And you thought he was going to get some momentum going, but nope. Brian Cage counter ultimately hit him with his finisher and picked up the victory. It was a Drill Claw City and pinned Hangman Adam Page. So I'm just kind of shocked, like, with Hangman losing, what do you think that the point of this loss? I mean, for Brian Cage, all right, cool. He finally gets a win. Team Taz gets a win. But, I guess part of the loss here, you can blame it on, early on, remember, Team Taz attacked him and Brian Cage powerbombed him before the match started, and Dark Order came out and made the save. So I guess technically Hangman was at a disadvantage this whole match because he was technically injured. But still, I guess, they're trying to put him on ice a little bit because they probably have no intention of him going after Kenny Omega in that title anytime soon. So maybe they're trying to get him a loss and he has to kind of start, maybe goes on a little bit of a losing streak and he has to kind of build himself back up if he wants to go after Kenny Omega. I don't know. What do you think about Hangman finally losing here after being undefeated for so long?
I think it needed to happen because if he just kept winning and wasn't in the title picture, it would have made sense. Now, I mean, I haven't looked at the ranking system. I would assume he's still the number one contender, and this loss would not necessarily debunk him yet. Mm-hmm. But if he were to take another loss or two or three or four, maybe more, then possibly he'll get debunked and switched into the second or third slot.
Yeah, so I don't know if this Brian Cage now is going to get a little bit of a push himself, but with Hangman, I'm curious what story they're going to try to tell now. Like, yeah, is this the beginning of him losing some matches, and this is the way of stalling until he eventually fights Kenny Omega later on this summer? Because I don't know about you, man, I felt like Hangman had so much great momentum in 2019 and, for most of 2020, but now he's really cooled off, and I felt like he's losing a little bit of what makes him special. Granted, I think what made him special was when the fans were there and he interacted with the fans and stuff. So I miss that part, but I really hope they do a good job of rebuilding him to make him like a really credible threat against Kenny Omega later on this summer. So we'll see how it goes. So I guess that's the point, is him losing. It's just part of the rebuilding process to make him repopular again to take on Kenny Omega here. Next up, we saw the Young Bucks, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, taking on the Seidel brothers. But actually before this, we saw that video package. It was the Young Bucks, it was Kenny Omega, it was the Good Brothers and Don Callis all in the limousine. What'd you think of this whole promo with all six guys in a limo?
It's just they tried too hard. I was like, okay, I'm not a fan of this. Yeah, they tried way too hard there. I
mean, I guess they're trying, because like Kenny didn't have any of the other titles with him, and then Don Callis tried to play it off. So we have like a separate car for all Kenny's hardware and stuff. But I was like, okay. The only thing that I thought was funny is when Michael Nakazawa accidentally hit the horn, and they all freaked out, thinking like flashbacks of Jon Moxley when he hit their trailer last week. So they got a little flashback, post-traumatic stress of Jon Moxley attacking them. It's just more or less, I think, trying to sell that they're all heels now, or especially the Young Bucks. But anyway, it's fine, I guess. It's just them all interacting with each other. But next up, we saw the Young Bucks take on the Seidel brothers. I thought, Philip, that this match did a better job of establishing the Young Bucks as heels, as far as them playing it up a little bit more, like more of the S talking to Seidel and to the fans in attendance and the camera. They're out. I like their gear this week better than last week. Last week it was like gray. This week it's like full black. I thought that was cool. By one thing though, they still come out and do the pose and they still shoot off all the confetti in the air. But like, to me, that I'm like, that's still like a babyface trait. You got, if you're gonna be full heel, get rid of that as well.
I don't know. Now it's more annoying. Like these pricks are coming out here with this snooty attitude and popping off confetti. Like, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah. So I did enjoy that one part. Matt Jackson did the splits and punched Mike Seidel in the balls, and then looked at the camera and was like, "Ooh, look at that!" Like, I think that was a funny gift they could have made there. But the match itself was fine. A typical Young Bucks match, and the Seidel brothers are very athletic and stuff, but ultimately Young Bucks picked up the victory here. For me, I think the Young Bucks, to really establish themselves as heels, they need to do more heelish stuff, as far as they're going to do things that doesn't please the fans. And the problem is their arsenal is such the high flying and like a lot of the high flying tricks that they do that pleases the fans. You know what I mean? Like, they need to do a better job of like changing their offense arsenal that is more favor of a heelish style that the fans will not get behind and support. So when you're still doing high flying stuff, the fans are like, "Oh wow, that looks so cool." But if they're heels, they got to do more heelish stuff, and they're doing a better job this week. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But SCU comes out, Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, and pretty much challenges them to a match. And stipulation that Frankie Kazarian put in last December, if SCU loses again, that they were going to break up completely. So what do you think is going to happen? You think the Young Bucks are going to be the ones to break up SCU?
I said this on the Bulletcast Thursday. I wouldn't be mad if, somehow SCU gets it to kind of keep them together, because, Daniels and Kazarian apart, you could do it. We saw it a little bit in Ring of Honor, but I mean, Daniels went on to have some success in Kazarian, not really. And Kazarian, you get a singles guy before. Look at the TNA run before he even got with Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
But at this stage in their career, they're so known together. It would be weird to pull them apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if like Kingston and Moxley somehow cost the Bucks the titles real quick, and then they flip flopped them right back, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, dude. So we had a video package for Jade Cargill. This pissed me off or annoyed the hell out of me. So Jade Cargill, she's trying to act tough to the camera, and she says managers want to sign me, but they want a percentage. And as she's talking, you see different managers on the screen. You see Matt Hardy, Vicky Guerrero, all on the screen. Then she added, it doesn't work that way. I'm my own boss. If they want me, they better impress me because I'm that bitch. This annoyed me, or this contradicts what she's saying. So she is saying managers in AEW want to sign her or represent her. Okay, that's cool. You're the new hot toy in AEW. Of course, managers want to represent you and work with you, but they want a percentage. Okay, kayfabe. All right, that's part of the agreement. If someone's going to manage you, you got to pay them a percentage to work with you. But she's saying, I'm my own boss. If they want me, they better impress me. If she's her own boss, is she trying to say she doesn't want to pay a manager then? Therefore, what's the point of having a manager then? Like, if you're telling everyone managers want to work with you, but your own boss, you don't want to pay them, then why even bring it up? Just keep being a single star then without a manager. I feel like, what's the point of bringing this up if you don't want them? Like, are you willing to pay them if they really impress you? Like, I felt like this statement, it could have been executed a little bit better or explained a little bit better what her intentions are.
I look at it like this: Jade Cargill, she's such a specimen. It's unbelievable. I mean, how amazing she looks and her physique. So what I guess she's getting at is that she is her own boss. She does whatever she wants. She does what she wants when she wants on her time and dime. Yeah. If you want her services, you have to impress her. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So
it's not about what I bring to the table. Like, if you're like, let's say I'm a recording artist, Baby Huey, and you're trying to get me to your label. It's not about what I bring to the table. You already know what I bring to the table. What do you bring to the table?
Yeah, but is she okay? So So she is open to having a manager, but does she want them to work for free then? Like, that's why I'm getting the fact that she says they want a percentage. I'm like, why even bring that up? That doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, if you want a manager, you're going to pay them for their service. Well, but yeah, if you want the best one, they better impress you. I get that. But the fact that she referenced the percentage part, it's like, why?
Maybe she's to the point where, all right, look, if I go do this with you, maybe they'll work out something. Like, logistically, they have to work out something. But I mean, like, all right, I'm gonna come do this for you, and then by having me as one of your clientele, you'll be able to get even more clients to double up the money or something like that. Yeah, no, like I get that. It's just, and I know this is a very quick video, and I'm dwelling on it, but just for me, I feel like she's such a new star. She's very green, and therefore she's very vulnerable to just criticism from fans out there. So I feel like you need to handle every video package with her very delicately and make sure you execute properly and makes her look better. So I've just felt this package here just didn't make sense because, okay, so you're saying managers are coming after you, but you're your own boss. Okay, that's cool. So you're going to make the decision ultimately who's going to represent you. And so whoever that manager you pick is going to have to impress you. I get that. But when you bring up the whole percentage thing, it's like, why are you expecting the managers to work for free? I just don't even bring up the percentage thing. It's fine. She should have just said, managers want to sign me. It doesn't work that way. I'm my own boss. I make the decision who works for me and represents me. And whoever I do choose needs to impress me because I'm that bitch. I think that would have been just much better. Just a little tweak of the sentences would have been better. So anyway, Jade Cargill, please
just whatever you're going to say, just don't have any holes in your sentences. That just makes me scratch my head of like your motivation of working with people. So anyway, harump. But next up we saw Penta El Zero Miedo with Alex Abrahantes taking on Orange Cassidy here with Trent of Best Friends. You notice that Trent has the question mark now at the end of his name. And
yeah, it's like he doesn't know who he is. Like,
Trent?
What is that?
What'd you think of this match here?
Who did he wrestle again? I'm sorry.
Orange Cassidy and Penta El Zero Miedo.
Oh, yeah. Penta should have won, bro. Like, Alex Abrahantes, he's getting involved and whatnot, and there's a microphone, orange punch spot, and I'm just like, dude, like, okay, this dude is with Pentagon for a reason to get him over. And how do you get over? It's not just mic work. You need to win matches.
Yeah. That's the thing. It was like the first part was okay. Like it was a little annoying to me. And this is something when I first saw it, I was like half asleep, but it was kind of like, Orange Cassidy's doing his hand things and he's trying to put his hands in his pocket and Penta stops him and does the Cero Miedo and pushes in his face. That back and forth, it was like, okay, let's speed this up. Like to me, it was just like, I don't know. I was just getting kind of annoyed. Like, okay, let's move this up. Like, it's taking too long. I want to get the match started here. The match itself was pretty damn good. I mean, Orange Cassidy, when he's motivated, or at least his character is being challenged, like Penta was with him, there were some great spots here. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, ultimately, Alex Abrahantes, he interfered with the microphone, was like speaking on it, and then tried giving Penta the mic, but Orange countered and Trent threw the microphone, and when the ref wasn't looking, Orange Cassidy, hit him with the microphone and got the victory here. So, I'm excited. I'm happy to see Penta El Zero Miedo work singles right now outside the Lucha Brothers, because it looks like Phoenix and oh my God, who's Pac are a tag team. So I like Penta on his own, and I want to see him really get a push as a single star, because I think anyone who's been a fan of his for years, going back to Lucha Underground, will love to see that. So, but he loses Orange Cassidy right now. I guess Orange Cassidy's going to get another push again. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on Orange Cassidy still. Like, I get it. There's a lot of fans who like him. He doesn't really do anything for me specifically, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We see Shivani interviewing Britt Baker backstage, and she was celebrating that she's number one in the rankings. So she should be hopefully getting a title shot very soon. Next up was the parlay ahead of Blood and Guts, the Inner Circle taking on the Pinnacle, face-to-face showdown. And I actually kind of dug this. Philip, do you think this was like their plan? Like it's an alternative to a contract signing? Instead, it was like a face-off and decide who gets the advantage for Blood and Guts next week?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the parlay was cool. I mean, just getting into some of the one-liners, Sean Spears kind of starts it off. It was kind of slow. Sammy Guevara says, "You're a joke here. You're a joke where you used to work." You're like, "Oh, got him. Damn." I mean, the line from Jericho, though. I mean, come on, bro. 1969 was the summer of love. 2021 is going to be the year of like hell and
violence,
high water, violence. And on May 5th, summer comes early for the Pinnacle. Come on, that was great.
I know this whole segment I thought was awesome, and I think the best thing on the night. And let's be honest, Pinnacle and Inner Circle has been the best thing going right now for the last few weeks or month for AEW, just because I really believe this feud. You could tell they have hatred with one another. It's been a long time coming, especially when MJF was in the Inner Circle and tried to turn everyone on each other. So, like, I really believe this feud. Like, this one has some legs, and I'm really emotionally invested in this. But yeah, even Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler calling out Santana Ortiz and stuff and saying, I'm ready to die. Are you guys ready to die? You guys better bring your A game. MJF, his promo here, saying that he's ready to take Chris Jericho's spot at the top of AEW, and calls out Jericho's like, dude, you've been carrying this company from day one. You look tired. You look exhausted. How you been able to keep up with all this pressure? I'm ready for this. I'm ready to be the king of AEW. So I love what MJF said here. But then Chris Jericho, who ended the whole segment, said, we're family. We've been a family since day one. You guys been together only for a couple months. and that, he's going to step on him and smear the crap that he is, and that's the spot he deserves on the sidewalk. And so, no, overall, I really love this segment. I cannot wait for Blood and Guts next week. Just, Spears said like they should have the advantage because they were lured into this. And then Sammy Guevara said he's willing to fight. He hasn't fought in months, so he will be the first one in, and he has no problem taking on all of all the Pinnacle at once. So looks like Sammy Guevara is going to start first, and then Pinnacle again the advantage, outnumbering them throughout this match. So I cannot wait for this. Early predictions: who do you think is going to win here? I'm thinking Pinnacle.
Who needs it?
Pinnacle. They're the new faction. They need this win.
They do need the win, but I'm thinking like how huge would it be if like Santana or Ortiz got the pin for the Inner Circle?
I could see that he like first went in and ultimately gets the pin at the end, so he lasts the whole time. That would symbolically be a big moment for him in his career in the Inner Circle. But Pinnacle, they're the new faction. They need to set themselves up as the new A faction in all of AEW. So I think they need this win. So we'll see how this goes. Next up, we saw Eddie Kingston take on Michael Nakazawa because as we saw earlier tonight when they were in the limo, Kenny Omega and the Elite, he said, Eddie Kingston, you want to challenge me to a fight? I don't want to fight you. You're going to fight my goons instead, and puts Michael Nakazawa on the task. This match was kind of stupid as far as, Eddie Kingston comes out to the ring. Michael Nakazawa like has headphones on or headset and like a laptop, and he tries hitting him with the laptop, and it's just such a bad hit that Eddie Kingston starts beating the crap out of him and then puts his ankle in the chair. And very much like Brian Pillman was going to try to stomp his ankle, but Kenny Omega comes out and says, no, don't do that. And then he said, oh, I don't care about him. Go ahead, break his ankle. And Eddie Kingston's like, I want a match with you. So what'd you think of this whole segment here?
I thought it was different. So was Eddie Kingston going to get the opportunity at the championship? Is that where this is leading?
Well, he said like, I want a match with you, Kenny. Or a tag match with you and this guy and me and Moxley. Like, so he kind of like changed up his tone already, his demand. Like, dude, go for the title shot, not go for a tag match. Like, that's the point. But I guess he's just more about revenge. But Kenny is like, go ahead, take out my goon. I don't care. And then he wants to send out another goon. So Brandon Cutler comes stumbling out. Come to find out John Moxley's beating the crap out of him. And then Moxley comes in the ring and threatens to stomp on Michael Nakazawa's leg. Kenny Omega comes out. It's like, no. And then they beat up Kenny Omega, and they're going to do the same thing. Then Don Callis comes out and it's like, don't. We'll give you the match. We'll figure it out. Don't break Kenny Omega's leg or ankle. I thought it was kind of goofy because John Moxley kept teasing he was going to stomp on it, but just kind of looked childish to me. You know what I mean? It just didn't look that threatening. Their whole body language and stuff, it just didn't seem that like intimidating of a tactic.
Yeah, I agree. Like maybe he held a box cutter up to him or something. I don't know. get like CZW violent.
Yeah. So, but it was announced Kenny Omega, Michael Nakazawa are going to take on Moxley and Eddie Kingston next week at Blood and Guts. So should be a fun match. But I don't know about you, Philip. I'm just kind of done of Kenny Omega and John Moxley. I thought they were done. Like they had the big, what was supposed to be explosion barbed wire match at Revolution. That was a dud. So I don't know why this is extended. Like they've had a bunch of matches together. Is there no one else that could step up to Kenny Omega? Like after Blood and Guts, they're still a few weeks away from Double or Nothing. So are they going to have one more match there, or are they going to try to throw something else last minute for Kenny Omega? So anyway, I'm just a little frustrated with the title scene in AEW. Like I just don't know what they're setting up for Double or Nothing. So we shall wait and see. We see Taz being interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Christian Cage comes in and they go back and forth. So looks like Christian Cage is the latest victim of Team Taz, and they'll go back and forth about their careers and whatnot. Next up, we see Chris Statlander taking on Penelope Ford. What you think of this match here?
It was fine. It was nothing to write home about. It was interesting not seeing Britt. I mean, Britt Baker cut a promo, and I would have rather seen her wrestle. Like, you could have given her this spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I'm cool with Statlander. I don't get the whole alien gimmick.
She needs to cool that down, like especially touching the nose thing. That's getting kind of ridiculous.
I listened to it because was it Kurt Hawkins trained her, and this is something she's wanted to do from the beginning.
What, the boop?
No, like the whole alien thing.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, this is her childhood dream.
Wow. I mean, like, I love her in-ring work. I like that she's a big, like, powerful, she lays these big, powerful moves and stuff. And, you know, poor Penelope Ford was just being thrown around a lot. But Chris Statler ultimately picked up the victory here. So good for her. Kip Sabian tried getting involved, but Orange Cassidy cut him off. So Chris Statler, it's like, okay, cool. She's back from an injury and they're just going to rebuild her as like one of the top contenders. So hopefully, you know, down the road, she can be built up as a potential contender for the championship. So next up here, a whole segment that's really interesting I wanted to ask you about. A trios tag team match, Nightmare Family, Dustin Rhodes, Billy Gunn, and Lee Johnson taking on The Factory, which is QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado, and Anthony Ogogo came out with them. What'd you think of this whole match here and how it played out?
Oh, I loved it.
Really? How so?
This was because The Factory won. That's all that matters. Mm-hmm. The Factory is the foundation of AEW.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of goofy. They come out into Cody Rhodes' like buzz, and I'm like, wait, whose bus is this? Where'd they get it from?
They stole his bus.
I mean, come on, man. They stole Cody Rhodes' bus. That's ridiculous.
They stole his warehouse. They stole his bus. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was fun. It was a throwaway 6-man tag. I mean, Billy Gunn still looks jacked as all hell, like 56 years old.
I thought it was pretty funny. He was wrapped up in tape around his stomach. That was pretty funny. And then the match itself was okay. You know, I mean, but Marshall's guys are still very green in the ring. And then at one point, Lee Johnson was throwing a bunch of punches at Marshall that weren't really landing. So I was like, God, I mean, it was still a very green match. Ultimately, as you said, the Factory picks up.
Honestly, man, this is why you don't hire your friends. It's exactly why you don't hire and work with your friends.
I know. It's we see Anthony Ogogo, you know, he beats up Billy Gunn and Lee Johnson some more with punches. Billy Gunn was like, oh, hit so hard in the stomach again. QT Marshall pins Lee Johnson after Anthony Ogogo's hit him with a big punch. We see Austin and Colton Gunn, Billy's kids, run in to make the save. QT Marshall runs off. He starts going towards the bus that they came out from. And this was so badly placed. You could clearly see Cody Rhodes standing there inside the doorway of the bus. He didn't have a disguise or like a hood to cover himself or a mask. You clearly saw Cody Rhodes standing right there. It was so badly telegraphed.
I think you were supposed to.
But I mean, like, you know, kind of create some suspense. You see him see some figure hiding behind the door,
or maybe he could have squatted down and then as soon as he opened the door, he stands up and it like attacks him. Maybe that.
So anyway, QT opens up the door and Cody jumps out, surprises him, beats the crap out of him, and they ultimately go on top of the Nightmare Buzz. They're beating each other. Cody applies the figure 4, and then you see QT just screaming, yelling, trying to tap out. Of course, there's no point tapping out. It's not a match. And it was kind of annoying. Was Ref Aubrey, or is it Aubrey, right? The ref?
Yeah.
She's on top of the Buzz, and she's like, no. It's like, why are you up there? This is not a match. You're not doing anything. If you're going to break them up, actually put your hands on them and break them up. You're just yelling there and wailing your arms. You look kind of just foolish on top of this bus.
Yeah, she should have been like, let's get physical.
But it's like, you know, try to break it up. Don't just stand there and not do anything. But ultimately, after Cody let goes of the figure 4, he stands up top of the bus screaming, yeah! Rips his shirt off, or his shirt was already ripped, but you know, he's posing and flexing. It's kind of funny. Like, in the last like 6 months, Cody has had how many big returns? Like, he'll be off TV for like a month and then comes back. Remember when he filmed all the stuff for TBS? He comes back with the dark hair and like the dark suit and stuff. Now this one, he gets beat up last month. He makes a big return. Like, how many times can Cody Rhodes go down this path of like being off TV for like a month, then makes a big return and like, hey, look at me? I don't know. Do you think that's going to have a little bit of a burnout factor?
Oh, excuse me, Jesus. It can. It can. If this really keeps happening, we're just like, oh, okay. Like, is this all you're gonna do for the next foreseeable future until you have a concise, solid story?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if he comes back and does something completely different, like kind of like with the dark hair thing, then I mean, it wasn't completely different, but it was something. It was something.
It just makes me wonder, okay, what did Cody do for the last month, being off TV? I was like, did he go film something else over this last month, like, quote, selling his injuries? So I'm sure we'll find out in the next month or so if he had some new project he was working on. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's like Cody, I love the guy and all, but I think sometimes this like over the top big returns, like, it's good for like once a year maybe, but like, the fact he's done multiple times in the last few months, it's like, okay, it's kind of like little ridiculous. It's like, okay, cool, we missed you, but like, you don't have this big grand surprise return every time. So anyway, it was announced that on May 12th, the week after Blood and Guts, on that episode Dynamite, it's going to be Jon Moxley defending the IWGP US Championship against Yuji Nagata. And that's a name I kind of remember when he was on Nitro in the late 90s, but I mean, I think for most fans, I was kind of like, who? I mean, I saw on Twitter a lot of fans were like marking out, like, oh, he's like, I guess, a Japanese legend. That's great. But I didn't know I was like, who is this guy? Like, it took me a minute to remember. I don't know, Phil, your reaction to seeing this matchup for on May 12th.
I mean, just going through the network and like clips on YouTube, I saw the name and I'm like, who? And I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I do know who that is. But I mean, that's me, like for the casual, and they're like, who the hell is that? I mean, they'll be privy to his stuff if they actually searched him up. But I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's my thing. It's like, okay, you're bringing this guy in, but I think for the average wrestling fan, probably doesn't know who this is. So I'm like, I mean, for the hardcore Japanese fans or New Japan Pro Wrestling, they're probably like, oh, this is awesome. But for the average fan, they're probably like, okay, who is this person? So, before the main event, we see Miro beat the crap out of Kip Sabian, because ever since the arcade match where they lost, Miro said like Kip's been avoiding him and they haven't been really communicating much. So it looks like a little bit of trouble in paradise. What'd you think of Miro beating the crap out of Kip Sabian backstage?
I love that.
Me too.
That gave a different fire to Miro and made him feel different, made him feel slightly important. Like, look, Kip, you effed up. Now you have to pay for your sins.
I love it. He beat the crap out of him, and then he hugged him and says, good talk, and walked out.
He was like, shh, there, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah. So, no, anyway, he beats the crap out of him, and it looks like Miro is kind of repackaging himself as this dominant monster, which I'm excited for, because we all been wanting this since he signed with AEW. But at the same time, is it a little too late? I'm also kind of worried with, like, these big monsters that AEW has. They push them and they ultimately just put over a baby face, and then they kind of disappear out of existence. You look at, Brian Cage when he was brought in, Lance Archer, these guys who are like dominant monsters, and they fight a big baby face and they lose, and then they go to obscurity for a bit. So Miro, I want to see him do something good. I can see he could be the one to maybe defeat Darby Allin for that TNT championship. I think that'd be something kind of cool, because he wants to go after some gold.
When he does it, it needs to be a squash.
Totally. Oh yeah, absolutely.
One would like hit a move, hit the Machka kick, put him in the accolade, boom, we're done.
Yeah. So speaking of Darby Allin, the main event, it was Darby Allin defending the TNT championship against 10 from the Dark Order. Which, okay, Phil. So let's look at this match and how it came to be. It was just thrown together, right? It was just like Darby, it was his 5th week in a row of defending the TNT championship. What do you think about that alone, him defending it every single week? To me, I guess from that perspective, they're trying to make it like the working man's championship. But then I worry when you defend it every single week against random people with no build, it just becomes, I get kind of tired of that. Like, it loses my attention.
Cena did that with the U.S. title. There was no build, just random matches. They were really good.
Listen, I'm just not a fan of open challenges like that. Open challenges are only good for me when someone's making like a big return, or it's someone that's being called up, or someone you haven't expected, a new signing, whatever the case may be, for those surprise returns. But when you do it every single week and having random matches with people, no build, there's no like emotional storyline to tune in every single week for. So this match was just thrown together. Like, I get it. Darby Allin is a ratings draw. Apparently, this was the highest rated segment of the night. So I get it why they probably want to have Darby on every single week. But I think him defending it every single week, I'm worried there's going to be a burnout factor. People are going to be like, again, he's going to fight some random person. But let's look at the narrative here for 10. Like, for 10, Preston Vance, I'm very happy to see him get this main event opportunity in his young career. But what do you think about the video promo before the match where 10 said, like, this is a big opportunity for him. He wants to win the title back in honor of Brody Lee, since Brody Lee brought him into the Dark Order, gave him an opportunity in his career that he was looking for. And Brody had a lot of faith in him. He was a mentor. It was a really strong, like, babyface-esque promo here.
Yeah, you were kind of like, damn it, put the title on him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was like, why are you doing this promo for this guy? And you're taking on Darby Allin, who's like one of the big baby faces as well. So I feel like it was a little bit of a contradiction. Like, I watched this video package and I wanted 10 to win, but then he's going against Darby Allin, who a lot of fans love as well. So I was like, I felt like they should have saved this video package for another time, for another match for him. I just felt like it was doing a disservice for Darby Allin and his character as a baby face. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm just, I was just kind of taken back by that. I was like, how helpful of this, what's the point of this? What'd you think of the match itself?
I thought it was cool. I mean, it starts at like, 6:45, and I'm like, oh, there's not going to be really a lot of time for this. You know, and they've been doing that with the TNT title matches lately. They start like 10 minutes left in the show.
Yeah. I mean, so, okay, for me, it's the match was fine for what it was. I guess for me, what I'm getting at is, this is a side of 10 we haven't seen before. Like, this is kind of like a new narrative they're presenting for him, that he was like the chosen one from Brody Lee. And so I kind of wonder if that's going to be the new narrative they're going to have moving forward with him, because he didn't have much of a storyline beforehand. He was just in random matches on Dark and Dynamite. So this is interesting. This is a new perspective of him that they're presenting for us as fans. So maybe that's what they're going to use for us to get behind him. I wonder if eventually maybe he will take off the mask completely and kind of change his look up. Ultimately, Darby Allin picks up the win, but at one point, Darby almost ripped off his mask. I almost thought he was going to lose his mask, and maybe that was going to be the start of him working just as a regular person again, maskless. But the finish itself, I was kind of a little taken back by, because we see 10, he tries to lock in a full Nelson, but Darby Allin counter by ripping his mask and then gouging his eyes, and then 10 finally locked in the full Nelson, but Darby pushed off the turnbuckle and managed to get the pin. But it looked like 10's shoulders were up still, so I'm really surprised the ref made the count. Earlier in the match, it was kind of like the whole Sting being out there. I thought that was kind of pointless.
Yeah, man. It's becoming too repug and pointless. Like, really, why do you guys hang out? Because you're both weird and wear face paint? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No, for me, it was just like the point of Sting being out there was kind of pointless, because, like, Dark Order are baby faces right now. And at one point, Sting walks over to him, and the Dark Order were like, we're not getting involved. We're backing off. So Sting, his whole presence out there of defending Darby Allin's honor was kind of no point. Like, he's not taking on other heels here. And it was just funny because Sting's like 60 something years old walking around, and there's like 5 Dark Order guys half his age all scared of him. I was like, you guys outnumbered him and you could beat the crap out of him. It's like, there's no point in being afraid. So, but ultimately, Darby Allin picks up the victory, grabs the Brody Lee wristband on Ten's arm and holds it up, and they shake hands and hug it out. So it was a good, nice moment. But then we see Ethan Page, who made a little interference early in the match, comes in, distracts him, and then Scorpio Sky chop blocks Sting, and the two of them beat the crap out of Sting and Darby Allin. So looks like, are we gonna get Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page taking on Darby Allin and Sting at some point, maybe a Double or Nothing or something like that? So I don't know. I still wish Ethan Page was a single star right now and not just on another tag team. He just came from a tag team in Impact Wrestling, so it doesn't make sense, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. Blood and Guts next week. Looking forward to that. But overall, solid, fun show for Dynamite this week. And yeah, Blood and Guts, I cannot wait for. All right, on that note, let's start wrapping things up. Philip, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You find me on Twitter and Instagram at HeelAntwine, HeelAntwyne. The Bulletcast on Instagram, at Bulletcast on Twitter, at Bulletcast on Facebook, the Bulletcast YouTube channel. Email us, please. Bulletcast2 is in the number 2 suite, swt@gmail.com. Yeah, man, I got some more interviews coming out in the next couple of weeks. Please stay tuned and check out those. They're going to be some really interesting conversations. Stay clean. Oh, speaking of conversations, check out Complex Conversations. I interviewed one of my former wrestlers. She's a 2-time state wrestler, the first girl in the history of our old high school to ever do so. So that was awesome for her to tell her story and her journey. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, stay quarantined, get vaccinated. Diamonds are forever. So is the Microphone Messiah.
Awesome. I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey83. For everything else, at In The Kliq. Subscribe to us and email us inthekliq@gmail.com. Thank you as always for the support. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.